All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Frieren,
Frieren, episode 21. All right.
A battle between mages and like the actual
older-
mages, not the kids that are playing
the
around.
old mages, yes, exactly. Denkin being the classic old mage, with the long beard and the monocle, and a little bit of a uniquely interesting disposition with regards to the way he carries himself, despite
Right.
being probably one of the only characters in this major group that I'm interested in. I'm actually really interested in him engaging with Frieren, not just in a magical fight, but in a conversation or
Yes.
anything related to that.
But he said he was going to crush her, which she's Frieren, so like
Right, so I'm guessing he's thinking like,
he's got
hey,
good reason
you're
for it. He
old,
must have good reason
and you
for
haven't
it, but,
you
like,
haven't been keeping up with the times.
Yeah.
So I'm old, but you're older.
Right.
So
I have a modern approach, and
Yeah.
maybe she doesn't.
Right,
Yeah.
and in some ways, I kind of want to see that. I kind of want to see Frieren actually struggle here.
Yeah,
that would be pretty awesome. Now, will she like struggle to the point where she actually like
struggle,
has
or
problems,
like,
or more like the
know.
I might need to adjust some things here a little bit.
Yeah, and I like the idea that if she does struggle, that it would be something that adds to the world building,
Right,
because
right.
in an absolute sense, like Frieren's gonna be fine,
Right. Yeah,
But
from a meta sense, but also it's a fun way to then draw the ways in which we have our main characters here, but like we can have actual comparisons made to like Fern and Frieren,
Sure.
and have the things that Fern is really good at, Frieren not be as good at.
Yes.
So that
is a
kind
good
of
point.
distinction being made also with our combatants here in the group also could be pretty fun.
Right.
But yeah, we're still in battle school doing the
And this is the
Fortnite battle
first
thing
round.
here. And this is the beginning of Frieren
Yeah.
finally being involved in the major kind of conflict, really. So
Yeah.
okay, we've still got a lot of episodes left in the show's first season proper.
Right.
So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh,
Ooh.
Flam! Oh shit! Wait.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Flamme. That's right. Yeah. Whoa.
All right.
So this was maybe longer than 50 years ago. So the idea of
Well, right. This would be a
Before-
solid 1,000 plus years ago.
but Ciri was
Yeah.
not unveiled yet, but Frieren
But
already
fully
knew
established
about
then.
her.
Yeah.
若いやつは血気盛んでいかんな。特権などくだらん。
ねえ、どうしてそう思うの？
聞くほどのことでもあるまい。魔法というものは探し求めている。
Yes. Yes. She's like,
Maybe a
oh,
kindred spirit
wait.
there.
Yeah. You and I are alike.
Okay.
With on a whim as well. Shit. Yeah, Frieren's like, I already got a spell from Ciri, Yeah. Turned it down because the joy comes from searching. Yeah.
Nice.
And Flem's like, no, actually. This is where we sundered our. Oh. Oh, cool. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Not fundamentally can't. Fundamentally must not. Okay.
いいね
Yeah.
魔法使いはこうでなくちゃ
Wow.
Okay.
And it's
Right.
Frieren, the Slayer, too, is
Yeah.
saying this. That's a nice little detail.
He's got like some kind of barrier around himself that.
こいつ全然凍らねえ
Yeah.
Or his connection to the
魔
earth
力に
is...
差がありすぎる
Sure.
ネフティア
Because I think we're seeing basically a classic earthbender, waterbender,
Yeah.
style fight here.
弱すぎる
Hey, Jacob, you're going to finally get to prove your point that earthbending is greater than everything else.
And yet, I'm not happy about it.
お前たちは派手に暴れたからな大体の手の内は把握しているつもりだが
Imagine he actually does the thing, though. Like,
That would be nice. I don't think he will, though. He's not classy enough.
俺は何をやらされているこれでは本当にガキのおもりだ
I mean, in some ways, he kind of is. He's not doing anything flashy. He's just building a bubble around himself, kind of.
Yeah.
I think the only difference is that he does have to see them,
Sure.
お前たちは魔法学校の出
I
身だ
I am glad they're bringing this up,
老
though,
人たち
because
はいまだに防御魔法中心の消耗戦のやり方でも教えているのか
どういう意味
少し魔法師の講義をしてやろう
okay. But less effective against, like, physical things.
Right. So the idea of just manipulating something that isn't itself magical.
Cool.
And thus requires less mana to summon.
Right. To be as efficient as possible.
Then it'll spend more, mana, and then it's just inefficient.
Okay.
Right, because it's faster.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. If I can just overwhelm you fast enough, yep.
Right, then he doesn't actually need to conserve his mana.
物質による圧倒的な質量攻撃だそのまま眠っていろ勘弁してくれ痛めつける趣味はないそれともなんだやっぱり殺してほしいのか
He does respect Denkin then, okay.
Yeah.
近づいていいのかよ人の体の6割は水でできてんだぜ
It's not a full moon. What are you talking about?
魔法というのはイメージの世界だ人の体にどう水が配分されているのか想像できるのか
Nice.
それを取り出して操るイメージは大量の魔力に守られている魔法使い相手に
Right, my own barrier. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're right, yeah.
イメージできないものは魔法では実現できない
Fun.
はったりも聞かねえのか嫌な大人だぜでも一つ分かったことがある嘘ついてんな
Well, it could just be him being like not giving advantages when he doesn't have to.
I mean, there was the lake down there. That's probably why he moved them up.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so they are now actually doing the fight in the air
Yeah.
classic.
Right.
A fire tornado. Yes.
Okay. Love it.
Frieren.
Yeah. Okay.
Just basically.
Yeah. And I like that we get that and the surprise from him after we had the exposition from the other guy about how magic barriers aren't as good against physical stuff, which is what he threw at her.
Oh. Point blank.
All right.
She's got the teleport shoddy strat, just boop.
And with enough precision to not permanently injure you. Yeah, exactly what she needed.
信じられん。こいつは最後まで基礎的な戦闘魔法しか使っていなかった。
Can't beat the classics.
見習い魔法使いに対する指導試合ではないか。
Damn, it's over.
驚いた。これほどの高みに来てまだ上がいるとはな。
And by such a margin.
シュティレを返してもらう。
お前がわしの立場だとして教えると思うか。
そうだね。ラウフェン。
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, shit. Oh. And just like that.
All right. Nice.
That was...
未熟者め。殺意がないことなど分かりきってる。
Now she didn't know.
でもあいつ、じいさんが死なない程度に
Yeah.
つけるつもりだったよ。
And who knows how much
Yeah.
damage.
じいさん、なんでそこまでして一級魔法使いになりたいんだよ。富も権力も欲しいものは何だって持っているんだろ。
わしの故郷は北部高原の奥地でな。魔族どもが暴れたせいで、今じゃ一級魔法
I can't go home.
Okay. There we go.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
参りに行きたかった。それだけだ。
It's that simple. Cool.
ガキどもを助けに行った方が。
Same kind of motivation as Frieren to go
Yeah.
and just remember the lost.
リヒターはお前と対峙する前に彼女たちを殺す。そういう合理的な判断ができる男だ。
それなら大丈夫だよ。
I just finished. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
So she's gonna let all the rain.
water,
Yeah,
all
just
the rain
fall
is gonna
through.
come. And dispel magic.
Yeah.
Whoosh. Jeez. Okay.
Yes.
Fuck this stupid ass test.
Uh-huh.
What?
Whoa. Oh. You sure about that?
It's gonna break. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, who is that?
Well, hell.
Oh, shit. Wow. This is how you say hello.
yeah.
I love it.
That's great. Cool. Okay.
まさか本当に結界を破壊するとはな。
なんでこんなことを。
カンネがかわいそうだったからね。
Ah.
魔法は自由であるべきだ。
水を操る魔法使いか。
魔法はイメージの世界だ。水を操る魔法使いに雨の中で勝てるイメージができる。少なくとも私はできない。
I can't.
多分リヒターってや
Richter surrenders immediately.
Yeah. He's just like, well, shit.
雨だ。
いや、状況確認など後回しだ。一刻も早くとどめろ。
Yeah. Oh, his barrier.
Okay.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
You're drowning. Oh. So you
Okay.
have no defense for this, is what you're saying. All right.
Oh, just pressure wash him.
I mean, bro, just...
Yeah.
Water is a very wonderfully
It's a hell of a thing.
incredible thing that we have
Oh.
here.
出てたみたいだね。早く
Good
ここから
job.
離れよう。日没まで2時間だけど、それまで魔力消せるよね。
消せるも何も魔力切れだよ。
そう、よく頑張った。
Head pats.
食べんの。
すまん。いやもう
He grabbed him with his legs to stop him from getting washed away.
俺も電源も魔力切れ。あと2時間だ。もう終わりだな。
Yeah.
I mean, most people probably are, because now the steel can go wherever.
冗談。すごい魔力だよこの高速。
なら木の方だ。叩き折れ。
Nice.
電源もう無理だ。
私ももうジルベアを使えるほどの魔力は残ってないよ。
Okay.
リヒター、ラオフェン。こういう時宮廷魔法使いならどうすると思う？最後まで醜くあがくんだ。他のパーティーの戦闘の痕跡を探してたどるぞ。
Yeah, other people
Okay.
might be out of mana too.
Right.
Do you guys have any martial training?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm Imperial. I've fought, since I was a boy,
And there could be other people that are banking on just hiding and,
Yeah.
you know.
そういえばあのエルフ、あんたの師匠だっけ？あいつのせいでびしょ濡れになっちゃったからさ、ちゃんと叱っといてよね。
そのつもりです。
うん
それに戦闘魔法以外だったら制限されていませんよ。
そういえば鳥を捕まえる魔法使ってたっけ？他にどんな魔法使えるの？
So
Battlefield.
many. Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah.
透けて見える魔法とか。使いませんよ。
That's one of my favorite jokes. The jump cut to them being super far away.
二次試験からは僕らは敵同士なんだからさ。
そうだね。ごめんね。でもメガネ君はもう少し打ち解けてもよかったと思うよ。
Yeah, I'm less likely to compete with you in the next one.
Oh. Gotcha.
It would
Hoping
be a
that it'll be
shame
enough somehow.
for it to go to waste.
Yeah.
We'll intimidate them. Yeah. They don't know necessarily we're entirely out of mana. They might be able to sense that our mana
Right.
is low, but...
Okay.
Oh, he might just speak to them, too.
Yeah. Right. The two people without mana, yeah. Do the bluff, make the distraction. Yeah, shut up. They don't know that. Oh. Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
男だろうが。
おい冗談
I love Dinkin.
Yeah. Yes! When the mage with 10 strength is like, throws a Henry Cavill real
Yeah.
quick, and it's just like,
And the
I'm
mage
gonna
with
cast
the mage with 7
Mage
strength
Hand.
is like, huh?
Sorry, Mage Hands.
Mage Knuckles. Yeah. Cast Fist.
I cast Fist. Yay!
Cool. Okay. So we got a break before then.
二人が試験に行ってからもう2日か
Hey, we missed you.
Yeah.
起きていてもフェルンに怒られない幸せすぎて怖いぞ
苦労してんだな。
You got it rough, buddy. Okay, resolved
Okay.
the first test.
We did.
Frieren won.
Yep.
Denkin still got a Stilla for him and his team.
Because,
by-
you know, when all else
what?
fails,
Yep.
old fisticuffs.
Old fists still work.
Yeah.
Man's, pushing, up in the decades, and he still is able to throw hands. That's great. Having also this fight and the fight with Luin and Kane resolve
With Richter,
super quickly because of Frieren's actions. I really like.
I appreciate
also,
that.
having this all tie in with Frieren having already known Ciri. That bolsters my confidence back in the show a lot because
Yes.
I love the idea of Ciri in the story, but more for the themes rather than the wish potential that she
Exactly.
has.
The relationship connection with Frieren and the interactions they could have.
Yes, there's
You know.
limitless potential there. So the fact that they then establish that they already know each other, but it's from such a long ass time ago, is a fun way to explore the idea of Frieren having people that are from that time before, but they are alive, so
Right.
they can see
Yeah.
the ways in which Frieren has changed.
Yep, they can-
Frieren can explore the conversations that we were talking about with, two immortal,
Exactly.
practically immortal people.
That kind of stuff that you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else, right?
Right.
Something, a conversation that she can't really have with Fern, no matter how close they are.
Or even with the idea of her and Denkin having these conversations here, while they're able to resonate with each other on the idea of, yes, the joy of magic comes from seeking it out, not actually from casting and using it. That, or even gaining the spells themselves.
Right.
That is such a cool thing to bring about why Frieren needs to be, in some ways, the hero of this story.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't care about gaining ultimate power
Right.
or anything like
because
that.
Because at the end of the day, the charm of this show that we fell in love with is them going on the adventures through the countryside and like getting to know people and doing these silly things that take way too long so that they can get a spell that lets you see through clothes, things like that. Not about who's going to be the strongest mage or can Frieren become the strongest mage, because she already is, right? she's already at that point where it's the
and even if
cool,
and
we
even
don't
if
have to think about that.
even if technically Ciri is stronger, the point
it's-
is irrelevant because
Exactly.
Frieren is the mage that defeated the demon lord, the demon
Right.
king. Like that was her and Himalaisen and Hyther and all of them. But the idea that Flamme was saying, it can't be you. I liked your interpretation of the idea that it's clearly Ciri,
Theoretically, you
Ciri
could.
could, but you can't be the one to do it because you don't know what it's like to live in a world of magic without war, without all this, which is kind of wild to say to a near immortal, because then they, by extension, would be saying, no, your life has been one of constant conflict and war, and yet she's in this library that's
that does feel a bit like contradictory.
It feels like Flam is speaking a bit out of turn, so maybe that interpretation isn't accurate.
Maybe what it is that it's not about what Ciri doesn't have, but it's about what Frieren does have. And so, like,
I think that's the point.
Because Frieren didn't, like, she isolated herself for that 1,000 years and things like that, and even before then, she didn't have, like, she wasn't a part of the war or anything when Flam found her. That means that she actively has something that Ciri doesn't, rather than it being something where Ciri's life hasn't entirely been war or whatever. No, because, they're super old, right? They're ancient. But, like, it's the Frieren is able to be old enough to get to the point where she could defeat the Demon King, right? But
she has the capacity in terms of ability.
She has the capacity, but then as far as the life experience, right? She is in a better position for that and the ramifications of that and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I find really fascinating. Like, the idea that no matter what Frieren faces in the future, if she goes on an adventure with a party for 10 years and changes the world, right?
Yeah.
There's almost something depressingly, like, beautiful about the fact that they're saying, in some ways, Frieren can't be changed by that. She'll never lose what she gained in the 1,000 years.
Okay.
And so you can look at it in a depressing way, in that it's she will never change because we can't corrupt her. There's nothing that ambition can change that she gained over that 1,000 years. But the story is basically saying, no, in some ways, this is where the contradiction will come in. Frieren will hold the peace of 1,000 years born of isolation and, building that respect and, what have you for magic. But also, in the midst of these coming years, she will build relationships that will change her, will affect her, will make her grow and evolve, because those individual friendships and relationships mean infinitely more, and because they could be not necessarily the exact same relationships as Himelizen and Hyter were, but ones where she has the perspective gained from that time.
Right. Well, in contrast, whatever Ciri's reason is for self-isolating, essentially, and being like, I have my dragon's hoard of grimoires, basically, that very much gives me the vibes of, like, when you get to the point where you're so powerful that you kind of have to remove yourself from the world.
Right. You don't want to touch it and break it.
Exactly.
And you don't want
Superman in the world of paper, right?
Right. And you don't want to also force a situation where you naturally have to go into conflict with somebody because they're taking too much of your knowledge or something.
And so then it's if people
you
happen
Dr. Manhattan,
to find
go build your own.
Exactly. Right. And then if people happen to find where you are, cool. Hey, you found me. Here's a spell.
That'll appease you. Go off.
Right, and I'll be able to keep doing my thing, and then eventually enough people knew of Ciri that they kind of have a position in this world, but it's still something where they're keeping distant from it. Right, there's only like 7 people maybe,
right.
Or some small number that actually like interact with them on a regular basis.
So what I'm guessing happened is then Ciri found out about the Demon King being killed, being defeated. And that's when she decided to reveal herself, was then, because they said 50 years ago.
Oh,
so
sure.
Okay. So now I will basically transition this world into a place where the seat of power...
Usher in the Great Age of Magic or something
Usher in the Great Age of Magic, where I will not isolate myself so much. I will give more
just enough
I'll give just enough for those with ambition to maybe get funneled. Oh, shit. Wait.
What?
Giving people just enough with ambition. The thing that's always unsettled me was the idea that the mages don't care if people die.
Right.
In this whole thing here.
Yeah.
What if that's part of the point? Is that this is a massive meat grinder to get rid of nasty mages?
Sure. Yeah. It's the no. We're not thinking about the like
we're channeling villains into a funnel where they could then get ground out.
I mean, not even that. Our power comes from the fact that we got a specific spell from Ciri that is, phenomenally powerful, right?
I mean, this might be just
We're
one of the
invested
things
in keeping that number low.
Right.
Right, like, and if somebody does show the chutzpah or the gusto to get to this point, and the ambition and maybe all that other stuff to, keep it a cutthroat competition,
Right.
then okay, sure, right, because that will by having a carrot in front of the the donkey, right, we can control how they move.
Sure.
They're never really intended to actually like get there, and we'll put it as the standpoint of like, no, it's just that difficult and all that stuff. But maybe it's actually like, no one's really supposed to get here. If you do, okay, cool, right?
Right, and then maybe the ones that do get there, Ciri is powerful enough to be able to judge the character of the person and go, actually, no, you shouldn't get this spell.
I mean,
the thing is, though, is that Ciri
I don't think she would care about that.
I don't think she would necessarily
I think
care
that's
either,
entirely a thing that the other mages are doing, not something that Ciri would do. But if you're at that point where you're that old, who cares what the people are doing? Because these, again, right, like with Frieren talking about how they change the way that things are done every 50 years or whatever, right? So it's like...
That's a good point.
From Ciri's perspective, yeah, sure, okay, I don't care.
Right.
This doesn't affect me at all.
Yeah.
Right?
The demons are more of a threat than some upstart mage that's going to try and wreak havoc for a century, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Or even a group of mages.
Even a group of mages,
that are like, okay, cool, we control the flow of power within this society,
Yeah.
But
that's an interesting, yeah.
Because
then it comes back to the themes of the idea of the perspective that we've gained has rendered the value of these little human interactions menorless.
Sure.
And thus then Frieren coming around with being like, no, we have to find some middle ground.
And on top of that,
Yeah.
it would make sense that the mortals would have the short-sighted approach
Yes.
of, it doesn't matter what happens in 100 years. For these next 50 years, I'm going to be at the top. And we're going to be at
Right.
the top. And we're going to make sure that as much as possible, nobody else gets up here.
Right.
But
And
they
thus-
they believe they might be able to, so they don't go somewhere else
Yeah.
and make their own place
and,
with blackjack and
thus,
hookers.
exactly. And thus Denkin being in the story is important because he's the example of the not immortal but old person who gained all the stuff but still just can't go home to see someone that passed away is grave.
Does feel like it gets at the idea that this restriction is again more of an artificial thing for control rather than actually being something that is needed.
Yeah.
Because Denkin's very capable, and I also kind of don't want it to be something where, unless you're a first-class mage, you will get murked by the random mobs of demons that are, beyond this. No. But if it's something where it's there's shit over here that we don't want you guys to find out about, and so only first-class mages can go over here.
I mean, that would be a bit more conspiratorial, which I think could be interesting.
I think with the level that it's been gone to, they could totally.
It could totally be there, but I think we need more evidence for that.
Yeah.
But okay. We've got our arc for this test done.
I like that we got 3 days in between.
They promised a second test. We do have 3 days in between. I have missed Stark. I have missed the group just being together.
Yep.
Let's have some time, even if it's just an episode. I want a full episode of them just together.
Yep.
Even if it's then just to set up the next test or what have you.
That's fine. Yeah.
I've just been exposited to long enough for a show that has done so much wonderful showing with regards to the way in which these characters have processed things. And even though most of it is, there's a lot of flashbacks, which is another form of exposition, I prefer that to the way that they've done things here in the first test. Although this episode was definitely the highlight of the test as a whole.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But okay. All right, it's over. Nobody needed to die again.
It's that whole weird thing where it's so many people died, but also nobody needs to die. And then having like Richter have the thing where it's hey, he changes his mind on a dime. Okay, well, that's at least fine because it's then seems like it's he's listening to Denkin, but yeah,
right. But hey, yes, water is really strong. So yeah, if you're gonna end up in a situation where you can't get rid of the source of water, they'll probably eventually be able to win. But also, you were fighting two of them, so yeah, there's that too.
Right.
But all right, that's a great kind of setup place, and Flamme being Flamme, yes, Flamme, because that's how it's said. That's how it's said.
I think that's just the over pronunciation.
Nope, that's
I think it's just
how they
Flamme.
said it. No, that's how they said it. That's how literally Siri said
But
it.
there's the inherent like Flamme, like there's going to be that
Flamme.
added bit at
No,
the
it's-
end.
No, it's that's the way it's said.
I'm not saying it like that.
Okay, then you're being petty. The thing is that I think having Flamme being in the story brought back again always brings me back into a place of positive like hope for this. 'Cause
Yes.
I very much love her character. So any more flashbacks that we get with her, Siri, and Frieren, or any combination of the three, very, very, very positive here.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's about it. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon and get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So, yeah, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb,
I'm Jacob.
and we'll see you all
Next time.